The Zoom Out Entrepreneurship Instagram live show was proudly brought to you by Joe Fate Cuts. Joe Fate Cuts.
As if you have a brand, you should have a strategy also of meaning it include a lot of things whereby your customer you should always have anything innovative, anything something new for your client in order to keep on following and liking what is your brand is doing, and also to follow or just to trust. Let me say to trust your brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, to add on to that, brand strategy is even just a brand. A brand is all about everyone else except you. It's you telling the world who you are, and people that relate to you will sort of feel like you get them, and those are the people that you are gonna build a brand for. It's the most selfless thing. But if you're just gonna build a brand based off of you and how you want things to be done, then people will never feel like they get you or you get them, and they will never come to you.
And okay, thank you very much. Other question also, we look at how can social media boost branding for SME. It doesn't matter if it's in beauty business or is is having a shop of selling clothes or so. How does social media boost it? What is the importance of social media in branding?
Yeah, so social media is one of the best platforms that we are blessed with, because this is a platform where you can reach anyone in the world that has the same platform, that can relate to you. And it's such a great opportunity, and that SMEs don't understand is it's not all about creating content and just posting and having your things out there or sharing reels or whatever. That's not what how social media is a strong thing that can boost your business. Um, Social media is an opportunity for you as a brand to show your personality. I'm saying that because people treat brands like another person. Um, and that's an important thing that people usually miss is, how do I emphasize on this? When brands put themselves out there, they need to understand that people see you as another person. You will see how people attack brands on social media when something went wrong. They treat it like a specific person. They will go on your page or they will tag you and they will say, yeah, you Joe's Fate Cards, this and this and this was not nice what you did. Or they will say something positive and say, I had the best experience at Joe's Fate Cards. They treat you like a person, and your brand is a personality. And this is the great opportunity that you as a brand have to boost your business through social media. And you can do this by building your personality up there. When I say this, I mean you need to see whether you are funny or not. Are you a funny brand? Are you a brand that communicates with people the whole time? You will go on somebody's post where they posted their hair, and you will go and comment and say, I love the way you did your hair today. And they see like, hey, Joe's Fate Cuts is the one that commented on this, or come in for a free fade, you don't look good, stuff like that. Like it's such a great opportunity for a brand to build their name and their following and eventually get sales through social media. And that's what makes it such a powerful tool for a small business.
That's good. That means, for example, let me say a customer come, for example, let me say to Joe Fixcut, you receive a bad card from, like for us, we are six. One barber, he cut that client bad. Most of them that I see, they don't really complain about. They say no, that Baba is the one that cut me bad. They said Joe Fixcut did this.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes, 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 yes. They want to make you a person because that's the only way that they can express how you make them feel, which actually is your branding. You see how the whole thing is connected. So great branding gets them to treat you like a human being and they love you. When it's not great branding, they treat you like a human being and they don't love you and they tell you all of these bad things that you did. So people want to treat brands like a human being.
good. Okay, thank you. Other question is what role does storytelling play in building a brand?
Yeah, storytelling is everything, man. I was having a conversation with a friend last night, and I was telling him the same thing. If you own a brand, go into storytelling. Period. If you don't have storytelling for your brand, I feel like you're missing an important element for your brand because without storytelling, what you basically do is you just advertise a price, a location, and trading time, 8 to 5. That's all you're advertising. Or you will maybe advertise great pictures at a price. But the moment you start telling a story of what your brand stands for and who you are as a brand and as Joe's Fate Cuts, then it changes the whole playing field from just selling a product or a service as Joe's Fate Cuts, which is cutting people's hair, to I tell a story of who we are as Joe's Fate Cuts, and I feel like you relate to this, and that's how people feel you get them, and they start liking you and following you, and eventually they get to walk through your doors and they stay there and they become your biggest brand ambassadors. So it all starts with storytelling.
That's perfect. And also, what is it? And to what would you say is a budget-friendly branding strategy? Because most of SME don't have a big budget when it's coming on branding, as we were saying it at the beginning.
Yeah,
And still, they have big budget, but still need to build their brand.
yeah. Yeah, remember, as I said, I want to re-emphasize on this point that branding is not it's not the things that you put on your walls of your business or the t-shirts like this top score t-shirt, or a big billboard. That's not the only thing that branding is. Those are things that you do together: t-shirts, billboards, painting your business, all of those things together is what you do to communicate your branding. But at the end of the day, your branding is how you make people feel. When people walk through or when people stumble across Joe's Faith Cuts, how do they feel? When they look at people that walk out of there, how do they feel? When they interact with the owner, how do they feel? And so I want to emphasize on that point because branding is not expensive. The other things that you do to communicate your branding is expensive, like billboards. But branding, in a nutshell, is not expensive. It's a very cheap thing. All you need to do is just be consistent in what you sell. You need to create a great customer experience with each and every customer. And you need to eventually, after you create an experience with enough people, you'll start building a community. And that's the cheapest way to do branding. Actually, there are a lot of businesses that I know that don't all they have is a logo and a letterhead. You will never see anything of them out there. But they are big businesses. We work with some of them, and they are well branded in the sense that it's the experience that they sell to us as their customer. It is the way they are consistent with the services and the products that they deliver to us, and it's the community that they build with more people like us that are their customers that will always advocate for them and say, go to Joe's Faith Cuts because this guy has been the most consistent barber in Windhoek that I know, for example. That's the cheapest way to brand yourself. Service delivery, how you deliver your service in creating your customer experience and being consistent, and eventually how you treat all of your people as a community. So that's the cheapest way or the most budget friendly way of a branding strategy.
And also, my question is like for SME brand, some of them they want to work with a big brand like Namib Mill and other
Yes.
corporate company. What do you really someone what do you guys have to look at for SME to collaborate or to do something also that can also help and boost their brands to the next level? What do you actually look at for someone to see that no, this brand is qualified, is an SME brand, but it's qualified to work with us. We can allow it to work with us in a certain project together. What do you look at? That what do you really look at?
Yeah, look, we with the big brands that I manage, I've worked with all kinds of companies and brands, even with personal brands that are considered very small. And people always ask, why did you work with that person or with that brand? It's not because of their magnitude. That's not the it's not the deciding factor as to whether we're gonna work with them or not. It is the way they brand themselves in the sense that how professional are they, as small as they are. How do they deliver their service? Do they actually stand for something that is different apart from all the other people in that same space? And how transparent and vocal are they with the things that they stand for? Those are some of the things that we usually look at to decide whether we're going to work with someone or not. You can be the biggest service provider in a specific industry. If you don't tick those boxes, we cannot work with you because at the end of the day, when we work with a specific brand or a specific person, our integrity and our brand is on the line. And people that feel like Top Score gets them should not feel like um, Top Score went and worked with the worst brand in the world that is known for bad stuff, bad publicity, or whatever it looks like. In an example of beauty, if a beauty brand wants to work with Top Score, we're going to look at what they stand for, how vocal and transparent are they in what they stand for, how professional are they, and do they really believe in something that's different compared to everyone else in the same industry?
Yeah, how do and also mostly how do they represent themselves in public and also
Of
uh,
course.
and also there's also one question here from Mr. Simpson. Said, should I separate my personal brand from the from my I think from my business brand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, look, it's usually a tricky question because it depends on what you sell and how you sell it. But usually the best approach is separate the two because if you become the face of a specific brand and there is negative publicity that comes to your personal brand, it's going to overlap into your business and people will associate the two together. And that's usually very dangerous because when people see you, they see the brand that you represent. Some people feel like it's a good thing because they are their own influencer, if you can call it like that. But it's a very dangerous game to play because you don't. There's no division between you and your business, and even vice versa. If something happens with your business, they will say that it is you. If something happens with you, they will say that it is your business. It's usually not the best approach. But in the beauty industry, for example, if somebody has a chair that they are renting, it's difficult to separate the two because especially when you're starting off, because you are the business, you are the one that provides the service at the end of the day, and people will come to you for that service. So when you're starting off, your personal brand and I mean your personal brand and your business.
The Zoom Out Entrepreneurship Instagram live show was proudly brought to you by Joe Fate Cuts. Joe Fate Cuts.